Welcome to my class, my dear students. Today we have to study about geography, second lesson, lithosphere second, exogenetic process. In this lesson we have to study about the various external process of the earth, that are the different types of weathering and the resultant features, and how the weathered materials are transported by different agents. The features formed by erosion, transportation and deposition of natural agents. Let us go to the lesson. The earth is the dynamic system that undergoes various changes due to internal and external processes. The continuous interaction of these two processes controls to the Earth's surface. The external processes are the consequence of solar energy and gravitational force, whereas the internal processes are an outcome of the Earth's internal heat. These earth external processes into two types, that are weathering and gradation. Weathering is nothing but the breakdown of rocks. There are three types of weathering: physical weathering, chemical weathering and biological weathering. The breakdown of rocks due to physical forces is called physical weathering. Here, exfoliation, block integration and granular integrations are the major types of physical weathering. Exfoliation means the rock's surface as the peeling of rocks layer by layer like an onion. This is called exfoliation. The seating and shattering are the other forms of exfoliation. Now let us go to the chemical weathering. The weathering takes place due to the chemical reaction of the rocks is called chemical weathering. Here, oxidation, carbonation, solution and hydration takes place. The oxidation, the process similar to the rusting of iron, pressure of air and the water is known as oxidation. Carbonation, when the carbonic oxide reacts with the carbonate rocks and the rocks get disintegrated and break down. Solution means the rock substances dissolved in water. Hydration, the minerals found in the rocks swell and thus result in the development of cracks and rock water down. This type of weathering is called hydration. Biological weathering is nothing but the penetration and expansion of plant roots, earthworms, animals and human activities are the causes of biological weathering. Now let us go to the gradation. Gradation is the process of leveling the land by means natural agents like rivers, groundwater, wind, glacier and the sea waves. Gradation takes place in two ways, that are aggradation and degradation. Aggradation is building up of landforms due to natural agents. Degradation is eroding the land surface of the earth. Agents of gradation, first of all we have to study about the river, that is the running water. The running water originates The higher landforms like mountain, hills and plateaus then receive water from various sources, from the rain, glaciers, springs, lakes, etc. Let's go to the course of river. The river divided into three types, that are upper course, middle course and lower course. In the upper course, erosion takes place and the river usually tumbles down the steep mountain slopes. Land features carved by the river in its upper course are V-shaped valleys, gorges, canyons, rapids, potholes, spurs and waterfalls. In the middle course, the river enters the plain region and the transportation takes place and the deposition occurs to the sudden decrease of velocity. The river in the middle course develops some typical landforms like flood, plains, meanders and oxbow lakes, etc. Now, the lower course of the river is the end of the river. It has to be an end by step activities and the deposit and sediments found at the level and split into the number of channels called distributaries. The main work of the river is the deposition and develops typical landforms like delta and estuary. Erosional landforms of river. First of all, we have to study about gorges and canyons. Gorges means valleys. The valleys run out about 100 kilometers are called canyons. Now waterfalls. The river flows in a region and hard rocks lie over soft rocks horizontally. The soft rocks get eroded quickly and the hard rocks project outwards. The river falls vertically from the steep slope to form a waterfall. V-shaped valleys are formed by the vertical erosion of the river, where the valley is deepened and widened. Porthole as the cylindrical holes are drilled by the erosion of the river. Meander means the level of river gets lower and it forms sweeping loops and bends, that is called meanders. Oxbow Lake is nothing but the meanders formed a circle with narrow neck and it is also called lake, that is called Oxbow Lake. Now the depositional landform of the river is alluvial pan, where the fertile soil sedimented, flood plains where the sediments make the region rich, and deltas, the river mouth, and estuary when the rivers meet in the sea is called estuary. Next we go to the karst topography. What is meant by karst topography? The underground water creates the landform in the limestone region is called the karst topography. We have to study about the underground water, that is the active agent in limestone region. Due to this limestone region, dissolution of soluble rocks such as limestone, dolomite and gypsums. The western Slovenia extends for the distance of 480 kilometers length and 80 kilometers width, which is the Karst in the Slavic language. The world's largest Karst area is the Nullarbor, located on the Great Australian coast. The karst regions of the world are southern France, Spain, Mexico, Jamaica, western Cuba, central New Guinea, and Sri Lanka and Myanmar. The karst areas in India are the western Bihar, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, and Bastor district in Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, and Visakhapatnam. Erosional landforms of underground water or terrarossa, the Italian term that is called red soil, and lapis. Lapis means groundwater of rocks turns into long furrows or formed lapis. Sinkhole is the funnel-shaped depression on the limestone rock that is called sinkholes. And caves and caverns. Caves and caverns are irregular flows of the rocks. And the depositional landforms of the underground water are stalactite, stalagmite, and column. Or in this region, the ceiling of caves is called stalactite, and the ceiling of pillar is called stalagmite, and these two caves and pillars meet in this place is called column. Now let us go to the glacier. Glaciers is a large mass of ice that moves slowly over the land from the place of accumulation. That is the river of ice. The height above which there is the permanent snow cover in the high altitude or latitude is called snow line. The gradual transformation of snow into granular ice is called fin or neve, and finally it becomes solid glacier ice. Erosional landforms of glaciers are cirque, arids, Matterhorn, U-shaped valley, hanging valley, fjords. Cirques are the walls of the mountain and forms a bowl-shaped armchair-like depression. Armchair-like depression is called cirque, or it means arids or narrow ridges formed by the two cirque walls joined together back to back and form narrow knife-like ridges. Pyramidal peak formed when three or more cirques meet together. That is called Matterhorns. U-shaped valleys. The glacier moves down along the river valley. The valley further gets eroded deep and wide to form the U-shaped valley. Hanging valley is eroded by the tributary glacier and it hangs over the mountain main valley. The depositional landforms of the glaciers are the moraines, drumlins, eskers, cames, and outwash plains. Moraines. Material deposited by the glacier is called moraines. Drumlin means basket of egg topography. Basket of egg topography is called drumlins. Esker, long narrow ridges composed of gravel and sand deposited by streams of melting water which run parallel to glacier called eskers. Outwash plains is nothing but the sediment deposited by the melting ice at the terminus of glacier. Now let us go to the wind. What is meant by wind? When air blows horizontally and the earth's surface is called wind. Erosional landforms of the winds are mushroom rocks, Inselberg, Yordung, sand dune, Bergon, transverse dunes, longitudinal dunes, lows. Let us go to the mushroom rock. The rock are made up of hard and soft layers. When the rock bottom is soft, the sand winds blow against and wear it down and form mushroom or pedestal rocks. Inselberg is the island mountain. Yordung means The rock have hard and soft layers arranged vertically and blow over these rocks. The soft layers get eroded, leaving irregular crest. That is called erodings. And let us go to the depositional landforms of vein. That is so sand dunes, pergons, and transverse dunes and longitudinal dunes. The mountain or hills of the sand are called dunes. Pergon means botch or isolated crescent-shaped sand dunes, and transverse dunes formed by the alternate slow and forced winds that flow the same directions. Longitudinal dunes, that is called safe dunes, or long narrow ridges of sand which extended in the direction parallel or the prevailing winds. These dunes are called saves in Sahara. Loess, the term loess refers to the deposit of the fine silt and porous sand over the vast region. That is the Ukraine in the Mississippi Valley of the United States. Now let us go to the last first subject of this lesson.